Hey Leo, welcome to Tourmaline Tarot. We're going to do your weekly and see what's up. One, two, give me one good one. Oh, there she is. Yes. So, Leo. All right. Nine of Wands, Chariot reversed, Three of Swords. All right. So there's something that you feel like isn't resolved yet, but at the same time, it's like you don't really want to put yourself out there. Also, it could be that if you're the fixer on a lot of things, you kind of don't want to be the fixer anymore because it kind of puts you through your paces. So it's like, why you got to be the fixer? I'm not saying this is a bad week, because the Three of Swords for me, you don't go full Three of Swords like in 1 week. You know what I mean? There's like a build to all that. Because I feel like it's more so the clarity aspect when it comes with the Three of Swords, where you kind of look at something and be like, hey. And that's where that feeling of like, they say the heartbreak and the da-da-da-da. Like, the clarity is what can suck, because it's kind of like illusions out the door. Especially with this Chariot, they're reversed. There's something where you're like, I am not giving to this in some way. We're not doing this. Ten of Cups reversed, Queen of Swords. So it's not necessarily divorcing something, because people are like, it's divorcee, whatever. It's not a relationship breaking up potentially. This is more, are you getting clarity on what, that Ten of Cups means? Do you realize like you maybe fell short of what your expectations were? Because the Wheel of Fortune is here to kind of like, I hate to say like, because usually I say judgment is the wind beneath my wings, but this is almost like if you can't go on, it's like Wheel of Fortune comes in and is like, sweeps up, kind of cleans house a little bit for you so you can kind of get some clarity, and then it allows the change to happen. Because if you're coming from kind of like a little bit more of a, not necessarily guarded, but it's just like, I gotta get out of this loop. Something because if you feel like you can't move or you can't get beyond something else comes in over top of it and it's like shows you how to do it. Because what is this Nine of Wands about? Ace of Pentacles. There's just something you feel like you can't get going. And you might have to change your perceptions. And with that Queen of Swords, though, I think you're receptive to that and be like, okay, I see what I mean here. So like I said, you can't really go full Three of Swords, right? But there's something that you're going to have to kind of reconfigure. Or if something felt stuck, you might have to, I'm not saying you take less, but it just might have to look differently. It'll have to look differently. Because there might have been factors that you weren't privy to. Or there were factors about it that you're like, oh, that actually did matter. Six of Cups with the Death card. There is something that I feel like you're going to get help on that's going to kind of move this forward for you. So whatever it be, this could be a relationship, this could be work, this could be projects you're trying to do, but there's an unseen factor. And I feel like something from your past is going to kind of kickstart it where it's like, oh, I get it now. So whether or not this is an actual person, I feel like your goal, it's going to kind of reset and you can redo. Like you get a do-over in some way that does move the needle better for you. And it feels more complete, if that makes sense, because like the 10 is the end of stuff. So once you're able to flip that card, because with the new information and the new approach you have, it's like, huh, okay, we did this. We made it. All right, so Leo. Something isn't authentic about the stability, or there's something that just isn't sitting well with you because the cats, and usually this is like superficial for me, but I'm seeing more like when you play with a cat and they're cool, they're chill, they're fine, and then they hit their point where they're like, and I'm gonna bite you. You're kind of at that point. Like, and now I scratch. So there's something about it where it's just like you're itching for something that's going to be more long term. there isn't like an impulsiveness to all this. It is very like for the greater good, for something that'll be bigger and better. Or you're trying to move for that, but it's like I feel like the path isn't 100% clear. It will get that way. Let's see, that was the dog that wanted to come out, so that's a good thing. But yeah, you do need to kind of kick complacency in the Basinski, and or something that looks good. You need to kind of break out of. If you're in any kind of rut, that's going to happen, because the broken mirror, that's like the Hanged Man card. The clouds, it's also like you need to get the perspective. So with the Wheel of Fortune and the Death coming in, that could be that pivot point where you're like, okay, I see what I need to be doing now. So with this tree, it's too many. What is Leo trying to get to here? Still too many, guys. Okay. That makes sense. So here's the Coffin, which is like the Death card, which means there's a before and an after. It's almost like, you know, before Frodo goes out on the quest and leaves the Shire. Like, you're kind of at that point. I'm not saying you got to bring a ring to Mordor or anything, but there is a change imminent. Because with the stork, and then you have the bear, the rapiers, which is the little swords, like the fencing swords, and then you have the ship. So you are, you know, like I said, there's this feeling of like right before Frodo, you know, goes on the adventure, there's a little trepidation. But whatever it is you're going in, you know, you have your boundaries, you're willing to kind of fight for stuff, but there's a longings, and things might take a little longer than what you want, but the desire is there to make this happen. So whatever new direction it is, Leo, like just keep your eyes open and your ears, you know, listening. And I feel like it'll be like, oh, I get it now. Okay. So look for your light bulb moment, Leo. That's what I have, and I'll talk to you later.